Yo, mic check, 1, 2, what is this? You're now tuned into Imperfect Sense right here on UnifiedRadio.tv. I'm one of 4 hosts, one of 4 moderators, one of 4 opinionated brothers that make up this podcast called Imperfect Sense. I go by the name of Eric E. Mr. Dawson, whatever it is you call me. I beg you, please do not call me a midget. And to the left of me, I got the bully with me, you dig?
Whoa.
He go by the name of Conway. To the right of me, got Uncle Drew with me. Andy is in the building. You know what I mean? Y'all know y'all don't usually see Andy on camera, so you know it's a special day. Shout out to Flesh, who is not with us today. You know what I mean? But we still going to turn up. We still going to have a good time over here in Imperfect Sense like we do each and every week. You know what? I might got to switch that up because we ain't been in here a couple weeks due to COVID.
No, we haven't.
It feel good to actually be back in the room.
Yes, sir.
And not doing anything via Zoom and all that other good stuff. So I'm going to tell you like this. If this is your first time viewing, listening to Imperfect Sense Podcast, I'm going to tell you a little bit about us real quick. Like I said, we are 4 opinionated brothers. We talk about everybody that happens in the public eye. We talk about it, including ourselves. Nobody's off limits. So if you're sensitive about your race, religion, gender, sexuality, or politics, this is not the pod for you. Nope. We do not subscribe to cancel culture. We say what the fuck we want, how the fuck we want to say it, whenever the fuck we want to say it over here on the Perfect Sense. That's what makes us us. You know what I mean? What makes perfect sense to us may not make perfect sense to you. And we going to get this thing cracking. Yo. How y'all feeling, yo?
I'm feeling good. Good.
Bro.
Everybody feeling good?
I'm tired of the winter,
I
but
ain't gonna lie, feeling good, feeling great.
Yeah, man. Everybody's getting back to health. We back in the room. Like I couldn't go another week with getting on Zoom and all these other online services just to try to do a pod. I can't. The energy's different. It's just not me. Like I just couldn't do it. I don't know about how y'all felt about it, but me personally, I just could not do it any longer. I had to get back in the building. I feel like I'm back in the groove now. I don't know how y'all feeling about being back in here, but I'm ecstatic. I'm happy as a bitch. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be here, man. And shout out to Flesh again. Once again, shout out to Flesh. Flesh isn't with us today. Yep. But yo, some shit going on in the world, man. First and foremost, I hate to start a part off by saying a rest in peace, but I gotta give some love to Miss Regina King. Like, she's one of my favorite actresses. You know, she lost her son. The report saying it was suicide. I don't know. I'm just going by what's online. I can't confirm that. I know he isn't here. You know, that's what I do know. That is factual. Don't know how his life ended, but shouts out to her and her family. Condolences. Like I said, she's one of my favorite actresses. I don't know about how y'all feel about her. You know what I mean? But she's been a part of a lot of classic joints, man.
Yeah,
she just had dropped off for classic on us.
Yeah, she's definitely also making a lot of headways behind the film, behind the screens. Like so far as being director, she did the One Night in Miami, which is a dope film. So my condolences to her and her family.
Facts. Yo, so check this out, right? Everybody in this room, you know what I mean? We striving for greatness. We striving for success. We wanna try to be as great as we want to be, right?
That's definitely.
But what comes great success comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I don't know if a lot of people that's going to view this, listen to this, understand when we talk about success and the financial things that happen for you. A lot of people, when they make it,
right,
they feel like they owe everybody. They feel guilty that they came from somewhere else and they the ones that made it, and they feel like they letting everybody down if they don't take care of everybody that came up with them. Like, how do y'all feel about that? Like, how do you feel about knowing that you got some things on the table as far as 2022 that hopefully it'll work out for the best? And if it comes with great financial reward, how you going to feel about the people that was in the slums with you? Like, how you feeling about that?
You want to go first? I go first.
You go first.
I'm going to tell you how I feel about that shit. My debt, my lady debt, is getting cleaned out first.
Absolutely.
And then better for my life is happening first. I'm not taking care of nobody because I sweat for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, if I see, I'm still gonna be that person. Like I can help, but it's not gonna be no everything every day. Oh, you need this, you need that. I don't give a fuck if you family, close friends, associates. It's not like if you wasn't there with me building that shit, then what we gotta talk about? Because when you look back at it, the motherfuckers, you like what they say, a share or a fucking comment or something like that. If you don't get that, and now you doing it because now I got a little bit of notoriety somewhere else. You were never really there for me in the beginning.
Like one what you shooting in the gym. That's what you're basically saying.
Right.
What about you, Andy?
My grandma used to go back to old saying. My grandma used to say, "Baby, save yourself. You can't save the world."
Absolutely not.
And you got to take care of yourself, your ride or die. Meaning like your significant other, you know, whoever. I don't want to go ahead and because I know how everybody gets sensitive on that shit. And if you got any kids, you take care of them. But other than that, man, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, I don't know where people feel like, how they say, entitlement. Because, we came from the same hood or we sit across from each other at Thanksgiving table and stuff. Because most of the time, I even with my family, I don't really see them unless sometimes around holidays. And I don't even get to see them around holidays. So I don't see how people feel they're entitled because, your father was my uncle or your mother was my aunt. No.
Let me tell you a little bit about me. Tell you a little bit about me. Fuck you. You get what I'm saying? Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You wasn't there. You wasn't there. So I don't give two fucking shits about your entitlement. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, whatever I give you is what I want you to have from me. It's out of the kindness of my heart.
Right.
Because I'm a firm believer in sharing the wealth.
Right.
But you're not going to make me feel guilty, nor am I going to go to sleep at night feeling guilty that you still got to get up and go hustle to go get yours.
Right.
Because the way that I had the same 24 hours, you got the same 24 hours, and you got the same 24 hours.
Absolutely.
So the fact that my season happened for me right now before it happened for you it's not going to make me feel bad it didn't happen for you yet. It can happen. Maybe now I could be in a position to give you advice to assist you more. Absolutely. But I'm just not going to sit up there and let you kick your feet up and you think, yo, these are my bills right here. Yo, I know you got it, so you got me. You know what I mean? Because we played in the sandbox together or we grew up. No.
Absolutely.
No. But some people, you can see it on draft night. With a lot of these athletes, man, they be having an abundance of people. And I just be thinking deeper about the pressure that now that they're going to be under if they not coming from a family that is grounded enough to say, hey, this is yours, this is yours, this is yours. We just here to support. You get what I'm saying? Like
that's not happening.
Not for all. It's some parents and some families that say, hey, nah, you don't owe nobody nothing.
Right.
But some of them, it's majority.
I'm not denying it.
I mean, like you listen to former athletes, like Shaq said, he said I blew my first $100 million. I said, Jesus Christ.
Will Smith said he blew his first million.
Yeah, he literally. But I guess when you that skilled of an athlete, you that great of a specimen,
you gonna get it.
You gonna get that $100 million back. He said, yeah, but I blew my first $100 million. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of fucking money. $100 million. I couldn't even imagine seeing like 100,000 in the same room, but let alone 100 million. It's a lot of fucking bread.
But even the funny thing about it, like I hear people talk about getting money. People say I'm getting money. You're not getting no money. Have you really seen, like you said, a six figures at one time in your hand? And according to some people, finances, that ain't a lot of money.
Right.
But when you don't have nothing, it seems like a lot. Just like the conversation we was having off air about the lady in the whole 350,000.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. We ain't gonna put her business out there. And she blew it in less than a year. So if you don't know how to earn money, invest it and flip it, that 6 figures is gonna go.
They call it liquid currency.
Yeah, it's gonna go bad.
Okay. But the problem with me is, right? All right. Coming from the areas that motherfuckers come from, right?
Right.
It doesn't take a brain scientist to jump in your brain to be like, you got this 350,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now go live better than what you are.
Right.
If I live in the projects,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of that bitch.
Oh.
And then not only that, you don't have no kids.
Right.
Oh, I'm taking 10 bands and I'm going somewhere for a month of exotic for a month
Mm-hmm.
and live like the king or queen you supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. Yep.
No kids, you don't have no responsibility.
And shit, all depending where you go, $1's worth $3.
Facts.
Go to,
State of
go to Haiti, Trinidad, Tobago, Belize. There's a lot of exotic places you can go. But look,
that shit crazy.
for people that wish to have an abundance of money, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's one thing to have the money and you start thinking about all the tangible shit you could buy, the cars, the purses, the wigs, the jewelry, the sneakers. But that's the mindset people be having. Like, yo, I want to be able to tangibly see what I'm buying. I want to go buy shit. What people don't tell you is the anxiety level that you have when everybody around you broke and they know you got it.
Oh,
They know you got it.
That's lad niggas.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
You know what popped up in my head? Excuse me for a moment. When AZ, the former Kingpin or whatever, and he talked about how the air seemed like it was different and how people looked at him differently once they knew he was that money guy.
Mm-hmm.
It just was like, he said it felt good, but then again, it felt real uncomfortable because people were just watching your every movement and people are catering to you just because they know you got it, but they wouldn't never.
Which one great hit you?
But you don't exactly, and that's what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, I just couldn't imagine being in the same environment that we all come from, and being that guy, and then you don't have the same liberties of being like, oh, I could just walk to the corner store and go get me a box of Cheerios or some shit like that.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it, unless you Kanye just don't give a fuck. He just gonna walk around.
But see, that's a different. Like, you can't give me $9 billion. I'm gonna tell you what we.
I don't want it.
The money. The money that we're talking about. I'm okay with that because I feel like I still got to manage that. You tell me billion. I'm gonna be real with you because that's a conversation that I would have to have with God, bro.
Right.
Because I'm gonna let him know I'm gonna burn this bitch down before $9 billion. I'm burning this bitch down. Hey y'all, we got a 747 fucking private unified radio jet whenever y'all want to go. Like the Boeing joint, wherever you want to go. And I got us our own landing strip. Like, that's billion. I'm doing.
I don't want billions though, bro.
I don't want it either.
I don't
but
want
I'm telling
that.
you, if I touch it, you're gonna see the dickhead in me.
Because I tell people all the time, I haven't seen a billion because the Lord above can't have two Kanyes on the earth at the same time. Like, I'm that. Yo, if I got built, I'm buying the house across the street from the X house. I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm buying every house on every corner to circle her ass. If I was that, I am that petty.
I mean, damn. Well, shit.
No, I don't want her houses.
Well, Jay-Z got a couple in his circle. God damn.
Yeah, like, I don't want her this name. Because she's still living.
But think about when it comes to our culture though. Think about when it comes to our culture. Let's take rap in particular. Let's take these rappers who walk around. They got the $100,000 worth of jewelry on, and they got 20 dudes around them that don't have the same.
Right.
It's always one in that clique looking at you like food.
Look at Dolph.
Because you bringing people around your luxury, but they ain't living luxurious. They not. Yeah, they may be on the plane with you. They may be get in the car with you, but they don't own it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't own it. They have no ownership. I'm sorry, they don't have no ownership of nothing that you're doing.
Look at
That's
Dolph,
why, exactly. Look at Dolph. But then I respect people that put people in position around them for them not to feel like that. So you take clicks like take Jay-Z and his crew, take Kevin Hart and his crew, take LeBron and his crew. It's like, yo, we all care.
Right.
I'm the centerpiece. Everything goes through me. But look, you got to do this. You do this. And it all forms like Voltron. I respect that shit.
And even Kevin Hart, he thought he was doing all well by his crew, and then there's one person out of the crew felt like,
it's always one, bro.
I ain't eating. It's always it. He like, how? Like
how you not eating?
How you not eating?
Because he not eating like Kevin. See, they the motherfuckers that you gotta weed out. That
right.
I'm the source. Y'all the plugs to the source.
Right.
How the fuck you gonna eat like I'm eating and I'm putting you motherfuckers on?
Right.
See, everybody don't think that they supposed to, like one person supposed to have more money than the other person.
Right.
They say, they look at the pot and say, oh, we gonna split. Bitch, this ain't the block.
No, this ain't the block.
We
Yo, break it down and break it down even simpler. Go to these people that go to work for somebody else. They go to a job and they say, well, they only paying me this. They could be giving me that. Why would the owner give you what they getting? They own it.
Right.
They have to put themselves in a position to pay you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So how the fuck do you think you're entitled to more than what they say they're willing to offer to pay you? If you don't like it, bounce. Get the fuck up out of here. I wish somebody that would work for me say, yo, you made X amount of dollars. Why I ain't got that? Because you ain't in the same tax bracket. You don't have the tax ID number. Right. You don't have the LLC, the corporation, the NI. You don't have none of that I had to go through to go ahead and get this to pay you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not only the American way, that's the world way. It's like, yo, I make enough money so I don't have to do the extra shit no more. I pay somebody else to do it.
Right. See, you know what I'm saying? The shit that's so funny is, we talking about Hov, is that's where those young motherfuckers got mad at when he said the money to the ear don't excite us.
Right.
That's not money to us.
Right.
Because when the motherfuckers got the phone to their ear, right? When the motherfuckers got that phone to their ear, it's not everybody in the clique with the phone to the ear.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So what are y'all doing to put another motherfucker on?
Right.
That's why it comes out months later, the one with the phone money to his ear, the one to get killed. And then who the ones living? The ones that didn't have the money to the ear. Now who's shining? The niggas that didn't have the money to the ear.
Right.
Now they got the money to the ear. It is a cycle.
Yep.
You supposed to fucking build an organization and put everybody on so no one can feel hungry.
Right.
Almost like, kind of like Death Row Records back in the 90s where everybody that came home got a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He fed the wolves, but it ultimately led to the demise, though.
It led to the demise because now you got a bunch of motherfuckers who's still motherfuckers with money.
Right.
You telling a motherfucker who just came home from beating a body that he an A&R of this shit when he's still worrying about the shit outside.
Right.
He still got to walk out of death row and worry about a nigga not trying to take his life.
Yeah, knock his head off, yo.
So while I'm trying, you want me to worry about that, but my main shit is this, it's never gonna work. Right.
And the crazy thing about me, I'm not rolling with too many people anyway. Like, I have a very small circle. Right. So when it comes down to putting people in a position, yeah, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it because I'm not thinking about everybody that know my name, everybody that got my phone number, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not bringing nothing to the table, it's nothing I can do for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And, like, you know, if I was to come into, like, let's just say.
That bitch won? Oh,
okay.
Oh. Nah.
No, like, you know, if it was a situation, if I came into a shitload for money, I know the people that I go ahead and say, hey, listen, I'm going to cut a check for you. I know they know what to do with it. I know when everything's over, they'll make it work for them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Hold up. We passing the phone around on the pod. We some ghetto ass. We some ghetto ass people,
Hey, look,
man.
I know who we
don't tell them, man.
I know who we won't be hearing from.
We some ghetto ass people, man. But that shit funny, yo. Like, that shit funny. But back to the BS, man. This having remorse about having finances, yo. You know what's so crazy? And we talked about this amongst us yesterday about celebrity children.
Yeah.
Especially celebrity children. First and foremost, right? You don't have kids yet, right? But you've been around for mine. You've been around Conway's. Like, everybody strive to put their child in a position not to feel what you felt. Right. And you got these kids that grew up in our culture, and some not in our culture, where they had parents that were just famous, wealthy and famous. And these motherfuckers be ungrateful as a bit. Like, do you know where your mother and father came from? They came from the fucking slum and made it. Yeah. And you want to make your parent feel guilty because your life is easier. I don't understand that motherfucking logic at all.
You know what's so crazy, though? That's why, like, you got to still be tapped in. Like, the parent. I'm talking about the parent. Because Blue Ivy's first time actually understanding the world, she was in Brooklyn. Walking around Marcy Projects. Of course, they had the security, but with our father, so she can see, damn, my father had to go up these steps. Oh, there's only one way in it, motherfucker. Smell like piss in this bitch.
So you basically saying don't shelter them children.
You can't. Right. Because you got to think about it. When you look at Rev Run kids, right? And they, like, what's his name? Diggy or whatever the fuck his name is. And JoJo. You can tell that the girls were the oldest. Well, JoJo older too, but you can tell where the disconnect is.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
Because even though they were superstars and this and that, my uncle Jam Master still played in the streets. So one person got to see this regularly, got to go through the hood.
So you basically saying one generation of his kids kind of seen the up and coming,
the beginning,
and then the other ones were born into it.
And you can tell the ones that haven't.
Exactly.
You can tell the ones that haven't because when you hear them talk, they sound like this is supposed to be given to me because my father who he is.
Right. You could tell.
And the other one, JoJo, like, man, fuck that. Like, I know where he came from.
I'm in hip hop royalty.
Yeah, but I also know that now that he made me go and live on my own, I didn't have that bread, so I ended up in a fucking Bronx high rise.
But play devil's advocate. about some of these celebrity kids. Like, some of them, they make their parents feel guilty that they are who they are. It's like, you know, it's like sometimes the pressure of who your parent is can kind of weigh on you as far as what you want to do. Right. Like, imagine you want to really hoop, but Michael Jordan your father. It's an extra level of pressure.
Bronny James.
But Bronny James is trained very well in this new age of social media. I shout out to LeBron.
Yeah. Because
Bronny is trained for the limelight.
Yeah, he's trained.
He's trained for
he's
this era of social media and all that shit wasn't around when MJ Kids was MJ Kids.
It wasn't around when Steph Curry was coming up.
Yeah.
Not like to the extent that it is now.
Yeah.
But Del Curry wasn't.
Well, yeah. You're right.
It wasn't people want to run down the street unless it's groupies for Del Curry. Right, they ran down the street for Michael Jordan. They ran down the street for Kobe. They ran down the street for LeBron. Yeah. They gonna run down the street for AI. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Durant. Del Curry, hell of a shooter.
Yeah.
Hell of a shooter.
Right.
Yeah. They ran down the street for Steph Curry though. Yeah. So now he has to. Now he has to keep his children grounded. But
look at the ones that they did run for and their kids, like the Gary Payton Juniors. Like Gary Payton was that smack.
Right.
But it took his son a long time to realize I got to play my own game. To now,
Same thing with Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
Like all these juniors, they come in. I think it's like a gift and a curse to be a junior to somebody.
That's what LeBron was saying.
Your parent is so up here, especially if it's a realm that you don't even want to get into. Like you might not want to be in the sports, you may not want to be in the music, you may want to go do something else.
Right.
Like we seen a disconnect. God rest his soul, the DMX and his oldest kid.
Yeah.
Right.
The disconnect. It's hard being a child of somebody that's successful and you come. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference because not only everybody knows you, it's everybody wants to be your friend because of who your parent is too.
Right. Exactly.
So it's hard to like maneuver in the world like that. So when I sit back and see people on social media or they commenting on shit about what they would do in that position, you don't know unless you're in it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
See, that's what I keep saying. Like to me, like shout out to LeBron and getting his son hyped up. But it's I seen games where they don't talk about that the motherfucker on that's sticking him on that he's sticking. It's just better than him. But he get to shine
because he's LeBron.
Because he's LeBron's son. Like they don't talk about the L's that they take and this and that. But the thing is, when he get to that league, is where it's really because
all right. So
no, that's what I'm saying. He's in high school. High school moderate, but when you walk on that fucking NBA floor, and the whole fucking stadium is fuck you, bitch.
They doing it now to him though. But I know where you going with it. I know where you going with it. They doing it now to him though.
Actually sitting on top of the joint waiting for you come and throwing the fucking popcorn. Yeah. That's when he gonna break.
See, listen. Let me just also throw this in. And you also got that kid that's from the inner city that probably looked up to LeBron, and they'll look at LeBron's son and say, "You had it all, motherfucker. You had it all. Like you had colleges already offering you scholarships. I had to work for the scholarship, and I'm finally here. And you in front of me, I'm gonna bust your ass."
Yo, we seen it was AI. Shout out to it was an episode. It was an episode. Remember back in the day on Fresh Prince when he was playing in Bel Air and
he playing G Money.
He said, "Yo, I gotta work for mine. You go to Bel Air, so they gonna give it to you." Right. So. Okay. So even in that,
because he played for Malibu.
Let's go on both sides of the spectrum. Right. An institution. Not saying Bronny ain't good. He's good. Yeah, everybody's gonna give him an offer. You know why? Because 9 times out of 10, Daddy gonna be up front row. Daddy being in the front row equals what? More TV time. We got more people, more alumni kicking out money because we know LeBron's gonna be here.
Yeah.
But then. Let's take LeBron. Let's take his perspective. That shit should happen for my son because of what I sacrificed for him. Because that's the same shit that everybody that doesn't have anything, we want to give our children them same privileges. So which side do you sit on? Because if I came from the slum and I became some fucking mogul and somebody said, well, they only fucking with your son because of who you are. Good. That's what I wanted.
Right. Exactly.
But somebody that came from where we came from that didn't benefit from it gonna be like, nah, that's bullshit. You gave him a silver spoon. Like, what side we on? What side we on?
Let's play devil advocate though. Cause then we know he's from the hood of Akron, Ohio. But his mother bust her ass so he can go to them county schools. Right. His mother bust her ass so he can get picked up by the Irish. What the fuck was the team? Whatever.
Oh, St. Mary's.
St.
Mary's.
She bust her ass so he can go there.
Right.
So your mother, you still really in tune to what that man looking at because his mother did the same thing, but because you didn't have that person didn't have the crown called the king in high school because the way he was built playing against these boys.
You're not gonna pause that at all?
No, because fuck him.
No, but you said the way he was built, like it sounds real.
Pause. Right.
Bitch.
Man,
No, he done got me with that shit. He done got me with that shit, man. He done been like, oh, what are you doing?
when you look at it like someone else is looking at him like,
right.
My son ain't get that. Like you can have like a Harold Miner's son, right? Harold Miner was something, but then he dwindled out. Mm-hmm. But his son could be coming through that and be nice as a bitch.
Right.
Steph Curry, Dell Curry.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, he still has a face because he still do shit with college basketball.
Right.
I guess only way we can distinguish anything is like I guess it's whatever side of the spectrum that you sit on, because it's really no wrong or right answer. Like
it's not,
you know what I'm saying? If you're saying, hey, like I understand, like he getting the privileges because of his father's sacrifice, I understand that side. But then if somebody said, nah, fuck that, he only getting that because of his father, I get that too. You know what I mean? But then you got some kids that, let's say Harold Miner was somebody in NBA. He didn't reach the pinnacle of
right. He didn't reach the pinnacle
of his classmates, but his son would work harder and become bigger than him. Like it's a different. It's the same. It's like
boom. I give you a perfect example. You remember DeJuan Wagner?
Oh yeah,
DeJuan Wagner. DeJuan Wagner was the number 1 pick. Mm-hmm. You know, he was up there killing everything. You know, unfortunately, he had injuries. I didn't know he was actually really sick like that. You know, something wrong with his intestinal or whatever. You know, but you know, he had a short-lived career. You look at his son. His son is the number 1 junior in the country. Mm-hmm. And he's going to the same school in Camden, New Jersey. And Camden ain't no fucking picnic.
Fact no. Fuck no.
Mm-hmm. It's just funny how they're traveling in the same lane. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm looking at this kid like, wow, he's really special.
Even take Kobe and Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean was okay. Right. He wasn't Kobe, but what he did in allowing himself to take his kid around the world to pick up different cultures, different languages, pick different games, is why we love Kobe.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's like I said, it's really no wrong or right answer to the shit, man. I guess it's just
the kicker though, because LeBron has the option to be like, you know what, fuck that. You go overseas, play for a year,
right,
and then come to the NBA.
Mm-hmm. He does.
I like the position.
He can miss college all the way. He can miss college all the way.
And then he can miss college all the way. You know why? Because daddy got it. Right. See, that's that other side of the spectrum. If somebody else saying like, nah, I gotta go this route because we fucked up at home.
Right.
I don't have the luxury of daddy's fame, daddy's money to do whatever it is I want to do. Like I said, it's whatever side of the spectrum you're sitting on.
You can't go straight to the league from high school no more, right? You gotta do 1 year in college, right?
No, you gotta do 1 year away from high school. So it's like 1 or 2 years. So that's why dudes going overseas because they rather go get money for 2 years.
I mean, you look at D Wade's son. His son is down in D League right now. Mm-hmm. He not went to college.
Yeah,
he's down in D League. So
yeah, another player that D Wade is my dad, and y'all know what he did. So I'm going this route, and he's okay.
I ain't gonna lie. You'll be busting Bronny ass though, but that's
they're the same team.
Yo, he be busting his ass, bro. He be busting his ass. That's why he in the D League. That's why he in the D League. He in the D League because they sing those one-on-one joints.
I'm just watching how they kind of like come into their own. I'm looking at like, you know, they call themselves, you know, what do they call themselves, like D Wade.
Yeah, I forgot what they call that shit.
Banana
I was great. Yeah,
what?
the Banana Boat Boys. That's what it is. The Banana Boat Boys.
Pause. But guess what? Melo never rode on a banana boat.
Yeah,
he said, "Yo, go ahead and ride on that banana boat. I'll sit right here."
LeBron and D Wade called himself the Banana Boat Boys.
It was CP. You know what I mean? When they took the
when they went to Miami.
Yeah,
when they was in Miami,
they was on a banana boat together. And Melo settled the show like,
that Baltimore came out of him real quick. He's like, no, I ain't with that banana boat shit. Like,
was short sitting behind each other.
No, sir. He still got to come back to White Lock. And
I look at Melo. He's sending his kid up to Christ the King.
His son nice.
His son nice as shit. His son got a quicker J than him too.
Shaq's son nice.
Yeah.
Shareek nice.
Yo,
nice.
Melo's son. He got a fast.
He got a real smooth game.
Yeah, I ain't gonna
and
lie.
it's just like it's so crazy because he's really on the low. I'm just like,
but that's That see the difference is that like, and Melo.
We gonna get off back. I'm gonna flip it real quick before we get out of here.
Okay,
But Melo don't want all of that shit that LeBron want for his son.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's showing them like, he's still showing them like, nigga, like, all that spotlight shit, you can still take the L. You can still take the L. Because, I don't want to say that because I don't want to wish no bad luck to him, but it'll be Melo's son that'll be like, yo, how yo go number 3? And then they're going that bitch and outscore Bronny's son. That be the shit I'm saying. Like, yo, that nigga nice, yo. I was watching a couple games on YouTube.
I thought it was a smart move. We put him over at Christ King. I said that's good.
He not, but let's flip it because we got into the
that shit
basketball
funny,
thing because that was such an easy thing. But the thing about a female perspective of it, like if your mother is Michelle Obama,
right,
you can't be a hoe out here.
Right.
That's why I felt like
no hoe shit.
That's why I felt like JaVale McGee, like you's a bum. Your mother was a fucking monster, bro.
Oh, she fine too, though.
Your mother was a monster.
But get what I'm saying? It's like we looking at things from our perspective because we guys.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but like if your mother is
the first lady,
is she's the most elegant creature on the earth. She's articulate. She's smart. She's just you can't fuck that up.
That's why that other daughter stopped posting a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
remember
saying?
she was smoking and shit.
Yeah, they called her smoking. They was like,
she was smoking. She was in the motherfucking parties and shit, getting drunk.
No, she was being a regular person.
Yeah, she was being regular.
But speaking of that, see, and when we think about celebrity kids, a lot of them rebel like that on purpose just because they want to feel regular.
Right.
They feel like they living irregular.
I don't even think they rebelling. I just feel though I don't give a fuck about my mother fame, my father fame.
That's still rebelling.
No. For me, if my mother was Michelle Obama, I'm gonna still be me. Like, because at the end of the day, it's like I can't change for you because you the one everybody love.
But then when you also privileged and sheltered, you start yearning for things that excite other people. That's why motherfuckers that didn't grow up in the hood, they think going to the hood and bullets flying around and it's crazy. They think that shit is fucking exciting. That shit ain't exciting. It's exciting because you don't see that shit every fucking day. That shit ain't exciting.
Master P said that shit when he took Romeo back to the hood.
That's why the suburbs, people in the suburbs spend more money on rap music than we do.
But he was saying he let it known that like you was sitting in the back of my trunk with me while I'm selling these joints.
Yeah, he didn't know he was outside.
Yeah, I got the blicky one because motherfucker still went in my head. Right. This the corner I was at. Like,
they did the shit on Fresh Prince again. Remember, he went back to the hood and the Carlton and was like, "Oh my god,
right.
What is this?
Yeah. You lived in. You had to walk up steps.
It's intriguing to him, yo.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you was one of the funniest clips. You ever see the clip when Reagan went to the Bronx?
Who?
Ronald Reagan went to the Bronx.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, oh my god.
He went to High Point too.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god. This place is in Beirut. It's like they make Beirut look better than that. It's like he couldn't believe
he was in
how
High Point,
fucked up it was in the Bronx. And it was like, we've been telling you how fucked up's been here.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck, man.
I remember, he was in High Point.
He was like, oh my god, he couldn't believe.
I think that was like 85. 86.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's heavy. That's heavy cracker right there.
Yeah,
that's heavy on the Chris.
He was fucked up.
He was fucked up.
He was like, damn, I'm letting this over the
Nathan
border.
was like, no, we're going to go to the Bronx, New York, because he couldn't believe as how bad they said it was until he went down to Ground Zero. He's like, oh my god.
And that was back when a lot of buildings had burnt down and this shit looked like a
Bronx
fucking
was fucked
landfill.
But one thing I'm gonna shout out New York about public housing in New York. A lot of people take a lot of pride in their public housing in New York, because it ain't like it was in the 80s. I remember being on the pissy elevators and all that other shit. Like I just was there. Right. It was like, people have taken more pride in where they from.
You realize the shit ain't. While the rest of the states and the world is changing, you can't change because you're the face of the fucking. Like, if you really look at it, right? New York could be the capital of the United States.
It really is the financial capital of the United States, period.
It is. But I'm just saying, though, like, when motherfuckers from other countries want to go somewhere, a motherfucker will fly right over top of California.
Mm-hmm. No, they come in, it's New York first, then Disney World.
Right.
Yeah. New York, Disney World, then L.A.
And then they sit there like, oh, this is Disney World. Okay, let's get to New York. Mm-hmm. Like,
but you know New York tough when they got exhibits in amusement parks that's in New York.
Right. So it's like, they like, motherfuckers have to go there. And then the people that's there, when you realize that ain't shit gonna change, like, they're not gonna knock our buildings down and put up road joints.
We're just gonna take care of what you
got.
Take care of what you got. Hey, yo, let's get some final thoughts before we get up out of here because we was all over the place. I like this episode today.
Yeah.
I like this, man. Let's talk about your final thoughts about feeling guilty about your success.
Shit, for me, it's like you got them. For me, I get what I want, and that's just not to be rich because rich is a mindset. I just want to be wealthy where my kids can actually become who they need to be in life and not work for no one else. If that's what I get this year, then I just got to make sure that Brooke already know where she from. She in the hood. But like the other ones, I just want them to realize, like, this shit didn't happen overnight.
Right.
Like, you was eating a cup of noodles not that long ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the thing that I do and my lady do, like, we already preparing them for success.
Right.
Where they eating lamb chops regularly because kids don't do shit like that. Like shit that kids in your neighborhood won't do. We do that shit because it's like, yo, I know it's coming, but you got to prepare them now so they don't see, like, oh, this some new shit, but you also give them golden grams, them noodle packs.
You just give them some balance.
Yeah, you give them the balance, but for the kids that's out there that already have it, you gotta realize, bro, like, you one of a kind because everybody out this bitch don't have it. So for me, it's just you gotta if you don't have it and you trying to strive for it, just be humble and be balanced and make sure that shit resonate with everybody in your immediate family.
Right.
And I'm talking about your lady, your kids. That's it.
Right.
But that's it.
Fact. Andy, let people know.
Same thing here. When I'm gonna piggyback off of Conway, right? With the checks and balances, man. Like, when it all comes down to it, it's about so far as remaining humble. You know, whatever God bless or bestow upon you, just being humble about the shit. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the struggle, like, it's a different thing. Like, I got a small little circle. I'll make sure they good, right? But if you across the street and we both in a struggle, and you see me struggling, I see you struggling, don't think I'm gonna go and say, "Hey, yo," because I got it like that. Nah, it's not gonna happen that way.
Facts. Hey yo, for me, I'm all about you know what? How can I put this without being an asshole? Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Shout out to both of y'all brothers. And the reason why I appreciate both of y'all, and this is the reason why I say that, y'all showing y'all kids also, it's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but it's also, you also show them the experience of having the entrepreneurial spirit,
absolutely,
spirit.
Got to get out here and get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so far as like wifey operate, so far as like with hair salon and stuff like that, with the radio stuff, they're learning, like, okay, I just don't have to go here and punch your time clock. I can also actually be the one that's actually saying, pushing the buttons and say, hey, I need you to go here, I need you to go here, I need you to go here.
Facts, bro.
Facts.
But continue.
Yo, that's all good. Yo, for me, everybody that's viewing this, listening, and another thing, man, like, look, all our Imperfect Sense episodes, you watching this, like, it's getting ready to be heavy on the streaming everywhere. Like, we know we drop episodes, all that. I'm telling you, we tightening it up. Yep. We not playing with nobody for the rest of the year. It is what it is. All the audio will be up on every streaming platform, including UnifiedRadio.tv. But My thing is for everybody, don't be afraid to be great. That's my thing. Just because the people around you are not great does not mean it has to hinder you. Don't mean that you have to feel guilty because they not winning in the season when you're winning. Because trust me, the brothers in this room were winning in the season when I wasn't winning. I was winning in the season when they wasn't winning. And guess what? Everybody became each other's crutches when it came time to. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But nobody ever felt entitled at all. Right. And you shouldn't feel entitled to give anybody anything that you earned. At all. If you want to give somebody, help somebody out from the kindness of your heart and it won't hurt you, then do that. I'm never going to tell you not to help anybody because I help a lot of people. But don't feel guilty for winning. And that's it. Just don't feel guilty for winning, man. Like, I'm not going to feel guilty for winning.
It's called survivor's guilt.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Don't feel guilty about survival.
That's a fact, man. This is another edition of Imperfect Sense right here on UnifiedRadio.tv. Please look out for the audio on Spotify. Please look out for the audio on Apple. Everywhere that you can find podcasts, please. Like everything that isn't up is dropping this week. Because guess what? We as a unit are coming for the #1 podcast spot. I'm coming for fucking Joe Rogan. I want your spot. I want Drink Champ's spot. I'm letting y'all know what time it is. Like, that's the type of energy I'm on. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who's successful. But guess what? Time for me to win too. Time for us to win too. And it's been us, and we out.